Shalum, Shalum, and welcome to the channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah, and these are the words I'm compelled to present to those who are drawn by the Almighty Father Yahuah to His word manifest before us in the name of Yahusha. My name is Symmanayah. Let's get started in this segment. Seed to Harvest is a series of messages that run parallel with the conception to the birth and beyond. Though it may seem simplistic, and though many of us may be thinking we're too old to talk about this, don't mistake these series to be pushing some political agenda, for it's not. This series, Seed to Harvest, is to bring to mind that there are simple things that the Almighty Father has brought before us, from conception to birth and beyond, that if we do not take them for granted, it can make a difference in our relationships with one another, with our wives with husbands, fathers and mothers with their children. Seed to harvest. Don't take it for granted, my brothers and sisters. Come and listen as I present the case how there is wisdom in paying attention to the details. In this segment of Seed to Harvest, I want to bring up the subject, who are you people? Who are you people? You see, we take for granted the experience of the newborn child or children. We take for granted those that are newly awakened become born again in this set-apart life. Come with me, my brothers and sisters. There are many similarities that can assist with growing strong in set-apartness. We will discover the power of Abba Yahuah and how he requires belief. And in that belief, from the discovery of answers regarding the question, who are you people, and beyond, there's much to be mindful of, my brothers and sisters. You see, beginning at birth and throughout the journey, people have an influence on us. Do you know, as believers, it is important to be careful of who we allow in our lives? Do you know, as we raise our children, our child or children, whether it be blood child, you birth the child or not, those who are contributing to the raising of a child, the influence of a child or children, we need to be careful who we allow around them, for they will pick up habits and behaviors that they see. We must begin to define who are the people around our children and educate our children on how to respond to the question of who are you people. Whether you hear children asking that or not, I submit to you their behaviors, their actions will prove that there is curiosity as they gaze upon those whom they come in contact. We did it, and so will they. Just as babies begin examining people with each passing day, we too observe those whom we come in contact or interact with on a daily basis. Believe it or not, our actions are reflective, seeking to discover who are you people. Yeah, sometimes people say, I'm not paying attention, I'm not studying, so to speak. I can care less. But subconsciously, each day we experience actions to feed the curiosity to tell us more about the people we are around. Sometimes it's like a knee-jerk reaction, and we're not even aware of it. We're not even aware of how they can influence us. But if we look back and think about how we protect our babies from strangers and watch over them, we will expose them to other people. And we have an obligation to protect the things that they are exposed to, especially the people they are exposed to. As we grow in set-apartness, we will discover the need to watch over one another, just as a parent or guardian looks over a baby. Sure, you have the overconfident, the overzealous, the arrogant, who thinks more highly of themselves and think, I don't need anybody watching over me. I don't need anybody trying to protect me. Believe it or not, these are the instructions of the Almighty Father for us to examine all things, to walk filled with the Spirit, to pray without ceasing. Though I could spend much time on the experience regarding babies, let's consider what we can learn and apply these words to adults. As we become awake and more aware of our relationship with the Spirit of Yahuah, who comes in Yahusha's name, the desire for fellowship will grow among us, O Yahusha. And in that fellowship, I guarantee you, our actions will be reflective of the question, who are you people? Wanting to know about the men, the women, the leaders we come in contact. Beware of those who will try to push you into assemblies too soon. People will come at you once they discover you have awakened to the presence of the Almighty Yahuah. They often use the passage in Hebrews 10, 24 and 25. Allow me to read that. Hebrews 10, 24 and 25. And I'm reading from the scripture version 2009, My Sword. It says, let us be concerned for one another in order to stir up love and good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging, and so much more as you see the day coming near. This passage is often used to get you into fellowship quickly. Pray, my brothers and sisters, for you jump into a fellowship, an assembly, a community too quickly. You may find yourself stepping in the wrong place, in the wrong position, at the wrong times. Who are you people? The answers you get, you may accept, but they may be wicked, and you don't know it, especially if you are newly awakened. Yahusha, O Yahusha, let us realize we are forever growing. I strongly encourage each and every one of us to keep this in mind, my brothers and sisters. Question, who are you people? You see, there's a lot of talk about end times and what's happening, and what's going to happen, and what we're facing. But how many are presenting instructions on what to do now, what to do going forward, how to vet, how to examine, how to identify those who are sincere in pursuing set-apartness? You see, my brothers and sisters, occasionally we find ourselves meeting others who are pursuing set-apartness. The need to examine them are critical. The need to pose the question, who are you people? When end times ramp up, there will be movement. Believe it or not, it has already begun as a result of storms, tsunamis, earthquakes, volcanoes, wars and rumors of wars, famine and pestilence will cause many individuals to migrate to where resources and supplies, or where there is peace, or where there is safety. Would you allow someone in your vehicle, or would you be desirous to be accompanied by someone who's a rapist, a murderer, a thief, someone who can care less about you, someone who have no intentions of doing the will of the Almighty Father? So you see, my brothers and sisters, the question of who are you people requires discovering what that individual, what those individuals are about. Least we find ourselves among those who would deliver us up, who would betray us. Please know how that we are instructed to guard against the wiles of the enemy, lest we be led astray. There are end time prophecies where passages of scripture say, be careful, lest you be led astray. If we don't ask, who are you people? If we don't pay attention to who are you people, as it relates to those we are around, we may find ourselves led astray, my brothers and sisters. The need to connect closely with people these days tend to be ignored. Yes, we seek to grow our social media numbers, our connections, in more ways than many, but often lack taking steps to fully get to know one another. Even in person, if there was no internet, how much do you see individuals meeting one another or saying, this is my friend or associate? How much do we know one another? Do you not think that during this time of favor, this time of life, there's a need to get to know one another better? For Yahusha will be gathered from the four corners of the earth. The importance of getting answers regarding the question, who are you people, may just prevent us from being in the wrong positions with the wrong individuals. Our quest is sometimes fueled by curiosity. We find ourselves distracted, going down a road or wormhole, or going down a path that is not fruitful, versus recognizing the value in one another, making decisions whether we should remain together or come away. It is important to know that not all individuals will have our best interests. Learn how to vet and examine all things, my brothers and sisters. All things. Let us consider the importance of learning to take actions to discover, who are you people? Let's consider what Philippians says. Philippians 1:9-11. Philippians 1:9-11 says, "In this I pray that your love might extend more and more in knowledge and all discernment, for you to examine the matters that differ in order to be sincere and not stumbling into the day of Messiah, being filled with the fruit of righteousness through Yahusha Messiah, to the esteem and praise of the Almighty One." The need to vet. My brothers and sisters, some people don't like that. The vet and examine. There's a lot of compromising communities, camps, fellowships, and groups with cliques in it that disagree with leadership. But the leadership, in many cases, are so high, so puffed up, some so egotistical, they don't realize the duty that is necessary to protect the least among us. But many like to grow the numbers. Let me take you to these words. Oh, listen to these messages. Matthew 24:4-5 says, "And Yahusha answered and said to him, take heed that no one leads you astray. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and they shall lead many astray." You see, if we know who are you people, if we know these people, if we vet and examine, it can minimize the possibility of being led astray. And if you drop down in that same chapter, the 24th chapter of Matthew, verses 10-12, it says, "And then many shall stumble, they shall deliver up one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise up and lead many astray. And because of the increase in lawlessness, the love of many shall become cold." Are you recognizing these conditions? Have you asked yourself, what does this look like? Have we begun thinking about how to govern ourselves, how to pay attention to who are these people? Do we really know them? It would be wise to grow in discerning the directions from Abba Yahuah as he uses his chosen ones. Yes, they are chosen, anointed leaders, guys that will rise up in these end times. And those who are false teachers, those who are preserving their egos and position and fighting for self, those who allow their flock to push them up unknowingly into wickedness, will face a discipline that will bring correction, whether it be sickness or sickness unto death. But it will become clear, for the Spirit of Yahuah discern the thoughts of many, and while he dwells within us, he will reveal to us the nature of the people that we are around. Sometimes more often than we realize. Beware, my brothers and sisters, there are warnings regarding wicked shepherds. Let's take a look at some, my brothers and sisters. Let's examine Jeremiah 23rd chapter, verse 1. Jeremiah 23:1 reads, "Woe to the shepherds, destroying and scattering the sheep of my pasture, declares Yahuah." Yeah, see, there are shepherds scattering the sheep, pushing us to people we don't know. Sometimes we don't know the right questions to ask. But a good start is when we're around people. Who are you people? Speak to them one by one. Matthew 23:27, come with me there. It says, "Woe to you scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you are like whitewashed tombs, which outwardly indeed look well, but inside are filled with dead man's bones and all uncleanliness." Do you think we would get a warning and not be given the ability to examine, to vet, and discern the wolves in sheep clothing? The scriptures present instructions, my brothers and sisters, for growing and learning. One can find advice for getting answers when vetting or examining people. Who are you people? Let this be a season of seeking answers, seeking to discern what the Spirit of Yahusha reveals to us. And let us be mindful of these words as they are made alive. Come with me to Proverbs 3:5-7. For here it tells us, trust in Yahuah with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Know him in all your ways, and he makes all your paths straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear Yahuah and turn away from evil. Turn away when we get the answers regarding who are you people if they are indeed not pursuing the will of the Almighty Father. Not just in word, but in words and deed. Matthew 6:33-34. Come with me there. Matthew 6:33-34. It reads, "But seek first the reign of the Almighty One and his righteousness, and all these shall be added to you. Do not then worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow shall have its own worries. Each day has enough evil of itself." Many people take this to think that they can use that's a license to not to plan, not to seek to discern, not to work. It says don't worry. It didn't say ignore when Yahuah gives you plans, guidance, and instruction. Noah didn't worry about the ark. He followed the instructions that the Almighty Father gave him. And it took weeks and months to build the ark, O Yahusha. He leaned on the voice of the Almighty One. Notice in Proverbs 11:14, come with me there. It says, "Without guidance, the people fall, but in a great counsel, there is safety." Some will throw this passage at you and think that, and some translations say in a multitude of counselors, there's safety. And they don't understand that this is talking about counselors who are walking in obedience to the Almighty Father. Great counselor is one who is walking in obedience to the Spirit of the Almighty Father, Yahuah, in Yahusha's name. Counselors that are obedient. If we seek out counsel as it relates to identifying who are you people, wise counsel will give us instructions that would assist us in being safe or walking in safety. My brothers and sisters, End times are here. No matter how you want to slice it, there's a lot of things before us that we can learn and become strong. From birth, from conception to birth and beyond. We take too much for granted, O Yahusha. Beware and do not get caught in the snares of compromising communities, camps, fellowships, and groups. I've heard one person say, the only reason why I joined this camp, I like their uniforms. I joined this community because I was from an abusive home, so I wanted to run to the community and join the community. Sometimes not even vetting, examining, asking questions, weighing them against Scripture. If you study the life of Paul or Shalum, you will see that when he was converted, he went into Arabia first to pray, to study, to grow a little bit stronger so he'll know what to expect as he took a new path, a path from persecuting the saints to uplifting Yahusha and reinforcing the strength of the saints in more ways than we can remember, my brothers and sisters. Do not get caught in the snare of saying, I like this because of that uniform, that environment, to run away from someone else. We must discern the difference between ordered division and wicked division, my brothers and sisters. For as we get answers to who are you people, there will be times division is necessary. And there will be times we will witness wicked division and must come away from such. Let me present these words to you, O Yahusha. Matthew 10:34 to 36. It says, do not think that I've come to bring peace on earth. I didn't come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to bring division, a man against his father, a daughter against the mother, a daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law, and the man's enemy are those of his household. We must recognize what he is talking about is that we individually must focus on him and him alone. And not all within our household will take that same stance. Not all within our blood relatives, among our blood relatives, will take that same position. Division is coming in a way to separate and come away from wicked ones. And if we find ourselves in a position where we see someone just fighting, not doing anything to press towards the solution or to come away and wait till corrections come, that's a wicked division. Want to just keep arguing, trying to make you accept their position of belief? My brothers and sisters, when we are divided and cannot see an answer, let us separate, my brothers and sisters, and trust that the Spirit of Yahuwah will indeed make things right. For he promised discipline in the 12th chapter of Hebrews. He promised discipline in Revelation 3:19. And that discipline brings correction. He promised judgment at his house first. 1 Peter 4:17. I believe it's 1 Peter 4:17. And I'm rattling off these addresses. I just better make sure on 1 Peter. I believe it is indeed 1 Peter 4:17, but it could be 2 Peter. You would think by now I would know that. But bear with me, my brothers and sisters. If I'm going to mention where to find something, I want to make sure I'm correct. Yes, 4:17. Judgment begins at the house of Yahuwah first. Notice that in Matthew 12:25, say Yahusha knew their thoughts and said to them, every reign divided against itself is laid waste, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So we must know the people we are around. We must know the condition of the house. That house would be our bodies. One, in our bodies collectively. For we are all of one body in Mashiach, Yahusha. A wise way to get to know people requires prayer and discernment, my brothers and sisters. Ask a lot of questions and seek to discern the answers given. Consider measuring their behaviors against the things they claim to believe and represent. When you see multiple contradictions in their actions versus their words, present the corrections, my brothers and sisters. And if they reject them, it may be best to come away from them. Yahusha, oh Yahusha. Pressing forward or moving on sometimes is better than continuing among compromising situations, lest we find ourselves being infected with ill beliefs, practices. Yahusha, oh Yahusha. You might think this is a simple question. Who are you people? But let us ask each day, and let us walk with a mind and sight to see, ears to hear. Let these words echo in our mind as we discover answers regarding who are you people. For in those answers require decision. Do we continue on with that individual? Or do we come away? Do not be afraid to come away when in doubt, my brothers and sisters, or threatened. Pray earnestly. The Almighty Father knows the thought. The Almighty Father knows the needs. The Almighty Father has anointed us in ways that we could not even imagine, but we will. We will learn how his spirit flows in us, through us, one towards another, and through his anointed, chosen leaders. Pray and seek to discern the best choice as you seek the most set-apart answers. Yahusha, oh Yahusha. Let the question, who are you people, abide with us each day. For believe it or not, with every breath that we have, we can learn a little bit more about a person if we pay attention. We are in a busy world, a world where we are caught up in social media and technology and just things and stuff. We're trying to navigate in the midst of chaos and confusion and division and economic challenges. So it is important to realize the very breath that the Almighty Father gave us is for us to let one another know our stands, our position. Just as much as we want answers to who are you people, let our witness, let our words, let our deeds and actions answer the question that they have regarding the one in the mirror. On that note, Yahusha, stay tuned. There's much to come, much to learn. See the parallels and seed to harvest. See how if we look at the simplest thing that we've neglected, it can strengthen us as adults or young adults. Stay tuned, O Yahusha. And if there's anything that you receive from this that nudges you closer to the Most High Father Yahuah, in Yahusha's name, let us lift up the word of Yahuah, which comes in Yahusha's name, as written in John 14:26. And witness Yahuah be magnified, drawing us together, O Yahusha. Stay tuned. There's much more to come. My prayer is that we grow in discernment, wisdom, and knowledge, that we do not fret, that we are aware that though our outward man may be perishing, our inward man is renewed day by day. And the answers to the question, who are you people, we will get a flood of answers as Yahusha is gathered in the days ahead. Stay encouraged, my brother, my sister, my family. Shalum.